All right, cost analysis. Now we're on to the fun part. How much has this all cost us? First off, I assume for figuring out what to do with the base cost of what we paid for it, that we are going to be using it for 3 years, and we're probably not going to sell it anytime soon. And I want to absorb the cost in 3 years of the total $2,600 that we paid. So dividing that up is $833 a year plus the total $609 dues divided by the 281 nights that we will use the system for sure this year. We paid $5.30 a night. So it's kind of, for a full-timer, a no-brainer to own a membership. It just depends on how often you're going to use it and whether you like the park system. So here's the 3-year total breakdown. If we're going to keep it full and use it full time each year, I broke down the nights to slightly less and slightly less. We're going to be in areas where there won't be parks that we get to use. And so in year 2, it's a little bit more. And then, of course, in year 3, it's $766 a night if we only use it for 200 nights. But after that, I will have amortized all 3 years in the first 3 years, and from then on, we're only going to have to absorb the cost of the annual dues. So one thing about the annual dues is that you get to decide up to 5 years if something bad happens that you don't have to pay them. Remember, we bought one that we can resell, and then I think the third option is you don't pay the dues, and you just let your membership go back into their control, and then they just get to resell it again. All right, so upsells. We have had twice where we've had to deal with salespeople. The first time was in January of last year, and because we hadn't really used the membership yet, we thought it was odd that they kept hounding us and expecting us to somehow meet up with a sales manager. They wanted us to actually go into one of their offices, and we're like, no, we live in a trailer. We're living far away where there's no way we're going to meet with anybody at an office of yours. So we did an online presentation, and it ended up, yes, it was an upsell of a more inclusive package for another $4,595, which gave us 180 days in advance reservations and 21 of the other parks with some cabin deals, but it really just was nothing we were interested in at all. Now, keep in mind, we hadn't stayed in the park system, so it was pretty hard for us to even conceive and contemplate the idea of spending almost $5,000 for something that we didn't even know if we would use. The second one was me actually sitting down with the salesperson in San Benito, California, to ask about this flyer that they had called an Ultimate Odyssey. And it had all of these details listed, the 28 days in the park, plus 19 more Encore parks. You get the 21 additional parks. RPI paid for 3 years, which we haven't even discussed yet. But the price was $84.95. So I liked him. He actually told us that our original membership was probably a $10,000 to $12,000 investment at the time. I let him know how much we paid for it. So he was allowed to comp me $4,000 toward this Odyssey package, which if you buy it, it's like $13,000. So I thought that the comp rate was good, but I decided it was not worth the upgrade because I didn't want to have such a high expectation of these parks because they are a little bit old and tired, and the inconsistencies from park to park, I think, would really annoy me if I had paid the kind of money that he was expecting me to pay. So I just really think that for now we're happy with the membership that we own, and I used both times to quiz them and ask them very detailed questions. So I turned it around to be something to my benefit rather than be annoyed with having to spend time with a salesperson. I appreciate your time, and hopefully you have found this interesting. My husband teased me and said, don't let all of our secrets out, because he's afraid that if everyone knew what this was like, that everybody would flock to Thousand Trails parks and they would be booked all the time, and he doesn't want that to happen, at least not for this 3 years. So give it another 3 years and then everybody can sign up. I also ask that if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. And I thank you for watching.